Chapter 6. Develop an honesty philosophy. We live in a world of broken promises. We live in a time when people treat their words lightly. We tell a friend we will call her next week for lunch, knowing full week we do not have time to do so. We promised a co-worker we will bring in that new book we love so much, knowing full well that we never lend our books, and we never lend our books. And we promise ourselves that this will be the year we will get back into shape, simplify our lives, and have more fun without any real intention of making the deep life changes necessary to achieve these goals. Saying things we don't really mean becomes a habit when we practice it long enough. A real problem is that when you don't keep your word, you lose credibility. When you lose credibility, you break the bonds of trust. And breaking the bonds of trust ultimately leads to a string of broken relationships. To develop an honesty philosophy, begin to monitor how many small untruths you tell over the course of a week. Go on what I call a truth fast for the next 7 days and vow to be completely honest in all your dealings with others and with yourselves. Every time you fail to do the right thing, you fuel the habit of doing the worst thing. Every time you do not tell the truth, you feed the habit of being untruthful. When you promise something, you will do something, do it. Be a person of your words rather than being all talk and no action. As Mother Teresa said, there should be less talk. A preaching point is not a meeting point. What do you do then? Take a broom and clean someone's house. That says enough. Chapter number 7. Honor your past. Every second you dwell on the past, you steal from the future. Every minute you spend focusing on your problems, you take away from finding a solution. And thinking about things that you wish never happened to you is actually blocking all the things that would happen to you. Given the timeless truth that holds you to become what you think all about the day long, it makes no sense to worry about the past events or mistakes unless you want to experience them for the second time. Instead, use the lessons that you have learned from your past to rise to a whole new level of awareness and enlightenment. Life's greatest setback reveals life's biggest opportunity. As the ancient thinker Euripides noted, there in the worst of fortune, the best chances for a happy life. If you have suffered more than your fair share of difficulties in life, perhaps you are being prepared to serve some greater purpose that will require you to be equipped with the wisdom that you have acquired through your trials. Use these life lessons to fuel your future growth. Remember, happy people have often experienced as much as adversity as those who are unhappy. What sets them apart is that they have the good sense to manage their memories in a way that enriches their lives. And understand that if you have failed more than others, there is a very good chance that you are living more completely than others. Those who take more chances and dare to be more and do more than others will naturally experience more failures. But personally, I would rather have the bravery to try something and then fail than never to have tried it at all. I would have preferred spending the rest of my days expanding my human frontiers and trying to make the seemingly impossible, probable things of the life other than comfort, security, and mediocrity. That's the essence of true life success. As Herodotus noted so sagely, it is better by noble boldness to run the risk of being subject to the half of the evils we anticipate than to remain cowardly, listlessness for fear of what may happen. Or as to Booker T. Washington said, I have learned the success is to be measured not by much, by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacle he has overcome while trying to succeed. Chapter 8. Start your day well. The way you begin your dream determines the way you will live your day. I call the first 30 minutes after you wake up the Platinum 30. Since they are truly the most valuable moments of your life's day, and have a profound influence on the quality of every minute that follows. If you have the wisdom and self-discipline to ensure that during this period, you will think only the purest of thoughts and take the finest of actions, you will notice that your day will consistently unfold in the most marvelous ways. Recently, I took my 2 young children to see the thrilling IMAX movie, Everest. Aside from the breaking imaginary and powerful acts of heroism portrayed, there is one point that stayed with me. In order for the mountain climbers to scale the summit, it was essential for them to have a good base camp. It was impossible for them to get to the top without the camp at the bottom that offered them the sanctuary for rest, renewal, and replenishment. Once they reached the camp 2, they then returned to the base for a few weeks to recharge their batteries. On reaching camp 3, they hastily retreated to the base camp to prepare for the trek to the camp 4. And on reaching the camp 4, they again went back down the mountain to base camp before making their final push to the summit. In the same way, I think every one of us, in order to reach our personal summits and master the daily challenges of our own lives, we need to practice to revisit our base camp during the Platinum 30. We need to go to a place where we can reconnect our life's mission, renew ourselves, and refocus on the things that matter the most. In my own life, I've developed a very effective morning ritual that consistently gets my day off to a joyful and peaceful filled start. After walking, I head down to my personal sanctuary, a little space I have created for myself where I can practice my renewal activities without being disturbed. I then spend about 15 minutes in silent contemplation, focusing on all the good things in my life and envisioning the day that I have and is about to unfold. Next, I pick up a book from the wisdom literature, one rich with those timeless truths of successful living that are so easy to forget in these fast-paced times we live in. Examples include Meditation by Roman philosopher and the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin and Walden by Henry David Thoreau. The lesson in these works center me on the things that truly count and help me launch my day on the right footing. And the wisdom I read during the precious early morning period infuses and enlightens every remaining minute of my day. So start your day well. You will never be the same. Chapter number 9. Learn to say no gracefully. It is easy to say yes to every request of your time when the priorities of your life are unclear. When your days are not guided by a rich and inspiring vision of the future, a clear image of the end result that will help you act more intentionally. It is not hard for the agendas for those around you to dictate your actions. As I wrote in Leadership Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, if your priorities don't get secluded into your planner, the other priorities will put you into your planner. The other people's priority will get put you in your planner. The solution is to be clear about your life's highest objectives, and then to learn to say with no with grace. The Chinese sage Shang Tzu told the story of a man who forged swords for a Maharaja. Even at the age of 90, his work was carried out with exceptional precision and ability. No matter how rushed he was, he never made even the slightest slip. One day, the Maharaja asked the old man, "Is this the natural talent, or is this some special technique that you use to create your remarkable results?" "It is concentration on the essentials," replied the sword crafter. "I took to forge swords when I was 20 years old. I did not care about anything else. If it was not a sword, I did not look at it or pay attention to it. Forging swords became my passion and my purpose. It took all the energy that I did not give in any other directions, and put it in the direction of my art. This is the secret to my mastery." The most effective people concentrate on their areas of excellence, that is, on the thing they do best, and on those high-impact activities they will advance their life work. In being so consumed by the important things, they find it easy to say no to the less than worthy distraction that cannot claim their attention. Michael Jordan, the best basketball player in the game's history, did not negotiate his contracts, design his uniform, and prepare his travel schedule. He focused his time and energies on what he did best, playing basketball, and delegated everything else to his handlers. Jazz great Louis Armstrong did not spend his time selling tickets to his shows and setting up the chair for the audience. He concentrated his point of brilliance playing the trumpet. Learning to say no to the non-essential will give you more time to devote to the things that have the power to truly empower your way you live and help you leave the legacy you know in your heart and you're destined to leave. Chapter number 10. Take a weekly sabbatical. In ancient days, the 7th day of the week was known as Sabbath, reserved for some of life's most important, yet commonly neglected pursuits, including spending time with one's family, and hours in deep reflection and self-renewal. It provided a chance for hardworking people to renew their batteries and spend a day living life more fully. However, as the pace of life quickened and more activities began to complete for people's attention, this wonderful tradition was lost along with the tremendous personal benefits that flowed from it. Stress itself is not a bad thing. It can often help us perform at our best, expand beyond our limits, and achieve things that would otherwise astonish us. Just ask any elite athlete. The real problem lies in the fact that in this age of global anxiety, we do not get enough relief from stress. So, to revitalize yourself and nourish the deepest part of you, plan your weekly period of peace, a weekly sabbatical, to get back to the simpler pleasures of life, pleasures that you may have given up your days grew, bruiser, and your life more complex. Bringing the simplest rituals into your weeks will help you reduce stress, connect with your more creative side, and feel far happier in every role of your life. Your weekly sabbatical does not have to last a full day. All you need are a few hours alone, perhaps on a quiet Sunday morning, when you can spend some time doing the things you love to do the most. Ideas include spending time with your favorite bookstore, in your favorite bookstore, watching the sunrise, taking a solitary walk alongside a beach, and writing your journal. Organizing your life so that you get to do more of the things you love to do is one of the first steps to life improvement. Who cares if others don't understand what you are trying to accomplish by making the weekly sabbatical an essential part of your life? Do it for yourself if you are worth it. In the words of Thoreau, if a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step into the music which he hears, however measures or far away. Chapter 11. Talk to yourself. Years ago, I was a litigation lawyer who had many material trappings of successful, yet little in a way of inner peace. I read a book called As a Man Think by James Allen. The book discussed the enormous power of human mind to shape our reality and attract great happiness and prosperity into our lives. The work also mentioned the profound influence of the words and language we use on a daily basis to create a more enlightened pathway of thought. Fascinated, I began to read more and more wisdom and self-help literature. And as I did, I discovered the profound impact and importance of the words we use in our daily communication, both our wisdom and with ourselves, on the quality of our life. This knowledge has also caused me to become aware of the personal dialogue that each of us has going on within each minute of every hour of every day, and vow to improve the content of what I was saying to myself. To achieve this, I began to apply a strategy developed by the ancient sages over 5,000 years. And in many ways it changed my life. The technique is a simple one. It involves nothing more than selecting a phrase that you will train your mind to focus on at different times throughout the day, until it begins to dominate your awareness and reshape the person you are. If it is inner peace and calmness you seek, the phrase known as mantra might be, I am so grateful that I am serene and tranquil person. It is more confidence that you want. Your mantra could be, I am delightful that I am full of confidence and boundless courage. If it is material prosperity you are after, your saying might be, I am grateful that money and opportunity is flowing in my life. Repeat your mantra softly under your breath as you walk to work, or as you wait in the line, or as you wash the dishes, or you fulfill other unproductive things of the time of your day with a powerful life improvement force. Try to say your personal phrase at least 2 times an hour. It will take 2 seconds, but it will be 200 times a day for at least 4 weeks. The results will be profound as you take one giant step to finding the peace, prosperity and purpose of your life. As Hazrat Inayat Khan said, the world has enlightened the soul and more precious than jewels. The world that enlighten the soul are more precious than jewels.